Hello, welcome again to Going for a Song. Let's right off meet the customers. And first of all, a very familiar face in Jack Watling. Jack confesses to collecting bits and pieces. His opponent collects Art Deco and Art Nouveau, Madeline Smith.
Hello.
And joining the experts panel again, we welcome back a man who knows much about silver, Richard Kay.
Hello.
With him, somebody who likes silver and is always there on the right, Arthur Negus.
Hello.
So, having met the cast, let's find out what has for us the first object, please.
And now, for viewers at home only, this English silver beer jug is one of the few surviving pieces with an early 18th century Bristol hallmark. It weighs 29 ounces and was made by Edward Jersey about 1731.
So, Jack, a libation from the gods or what, for you?
Gosh, I wouldn't mind having something out of that. Now, that is quite lovely. It's inscribed. I would say that is quite a... I would say... do I put a time or date on this?
Yes, of course.
I would say that is about 1800. What would you pour out of it? Punch? It's a marvellous weight. I would say it's about 1800. I love the simplicity and I love this gorgeous handle. It's quite lovely.
You think English or anywhere else?
Yes, I do. I think it's English.
Right, Madeline, do you agree with Jack?
I agree with him. It's absolutely exquisite. Totally simple, with a little engraving here on the front, underneath the spout, of a lion caught up in a thicket of trees. Heavenly, that is. I'm afraid I agree with Jack. I think it's about 1800, too.
About 1800, and English, you think?
And I think English.
Right. Well, let's see what Richard Kane has to say.
Thanks. Well, it's... Jack hit the nail on the head. It is a beer jug. Unfortunately, though, it's... I think it's a new... Oh, my God.
What are you seeing,
Well,
Richard, and what's it meaning to you?
It's not a London one, unfortunately. It's got rather an obscure mark in it, which I think is probably going to baffle me, which is absolutely infuriating. It doesn't look like a
Well,
new...
think of the marks that are obscure. You're quite right, it's reasonably obscure.
Well, it's either a Newcastle or a...
Come nearer home.
What, down these parts, you mean? I'm sorry, I'm baffled by that mark, unfortunately.
Well, the expert is baffled. Tell us what you think it is for date on design and so on.
It's about 1740. It's got a very attractive contemporary crest below the spout, and it's a first-rate example of a George II beer jug of its kind, but I'm afraid the marks baffle me completely.
Let's see if they baffle Arthur, then.
Well, they're bound to baffle me. Good Lord. I never let it go down on history that I ever knew what these marks were. Isn't it interesting? I don't know.
Hooray! Can you describe them for us, the two experts?
Well, yes, I can describe them. It's got a leopard's head. It's got a leopard's head crown, so this is okay, and a lion, and a bee. But of course, the capital B in a pointed shield like that, as Richard would know well, needn't necessarily be the date of the London bee. But the hallmark is the one thing that strikes me is Bristol, but then there wasn't an assay office in Bristol, because a ship in full sail with something on the side of it.
Well, is it a ship in full
Well,
sail?
have a look.
Does
that help you?
Is it a badly struck Chester mark, possibly?
No, it is the Bristol mark,
It
in
is the
fact.
Bristol mark.
Yes. And there's a lot of obscurity about Bristol, as you've all rightly said.
Well, it's tremendously rare. Hang on.
Apparently, the records are from 1730 to about 1800, and there are no actual records of the registrations at all. So, if it was 1730 at the start, there was presumably a capital A, and they reckon that's 1731. So, with your 1740 on style, You were very much on, Richard.
I'm afraid I was looking at the mark the wrong way up. I didn't realise a ship and full sail. I might have made an intelligent guess, but I've not seen that series of marks ever before.
Well, there you are. Something very rare that the home port here has produced. Something that they're putting quite a price on, partly for its rarity and partly because it is a lovely thing. And it's first the go of Jack Watling.
It is such a beautiful jug. I would say about £1,200.
£1,200 I'm bid there by Jack Watling. Now, Madeline.
I'm sure Jack is right, but I would say 500.
Never think that the gentleman is right. It's, in fact, 3,800.
Oh, no.
So you can see from the reactions that a lot of that was for the rarity, I should imagine. 3,800 they put on that, and that's 5 then to Jack Watling, who goes into the lead. If he'd got within 10%, he'd have got 10. Fortunately, he didn't. I'm on the ladies' side. So let's go on with the next object, please.
A doctor's travelling medicine box, made of mahogany and brass. It contains bottles for medical preparations and the necessary equipment for weighing and mixing them. It's English and was made about 1820.
And this is first for Madeline to appraise.
Well, it's a wonderful little chest, little baby chest, full of, I suppose, scent bottles with little stoppers. What if they still... No smell.
What's it say to you for date and where made?
I should say that it's certainly, quite old.
That's a good one. I must remember, Jack. Would you like to go on?
There's a little handle here.
Yes. What fascinates me about this is the making of it, these marvellous hinges, and I'm going to play a hunch on this. I've got a feeling this was travelled probably by some army gent. And I've got a feeling these were probably medicines. Some surgeon or something like that. Because so that it doesn't rattle. Beautifully made box, lovely bottles. I would say it was a medicine chest, and I would say... no, not Marlborough, maybe Napoleonic times.
Thinking of Wellington, were you?
That sort of thing.
Yes. Anyway, not a travelling liqueur cabinet, you think?
I don't think so.
Arthur.
I feel sure Jack's absolutely right. Might be naval, might be military, but certainly portable, with all the strengthenings of the brass and the countersunk brass handle, full of little drug jars, and of course has a secret underneath here, which when you pull out this pin, it should spring forward, but of course it doesn't, so I'll have to get it open. Because inside here is possibly, oh dear.
There's a nick for the handle to lift.
I know there is, but it's so stuck in that it hasn't been nicked and lifted for years. Oh. I have a penknife. It won't matter if it slips and scratches it, will it?
Not with your touch, Arthur.
I said no, and I was going to say it probably has a little pestle and mortar in it, which you can see it has. A little glass pestle, a little glass mortar. So these could be dry drug jars where the potion was made up by the physician. Here's the stillards for weighing the drugs and so on. In fact, it's a lovely little thing, and Napoleonic is just about all right, isn't it? 1820. You fancy a chap who felt not well having to wait while they conjured up all this, and even opened the drawer. I think that about does it.
Date, Arthur?
About 1820, I think.
Yes.
Napoleonic, absolutely bang on, Jack.
And the wood?
Or mahogany.
Could it, in fact, have been ever used in the home? Would wealthy families have had those for a visiting physician ever?
It may well have been so. This is not a bad one, but it's by no means one of the best ones. When I say that, invariably they turn round the back. And these are very nice. And the back opens with 2 hinge compartments and opens this way. And these then are all filled with more bottles and more drug jars. But it's a very good one in a very clean condition, isn't it?
Okay.
You know, and so nice and unbroken everywhere.
I think Arthur said it all.
I think he has really, hasn't he? 'Cause the one thing he didn't mention was the little weights in there. There are the drams
Yes, I saw those.
and scruples. Now, a scruple is a 24th of an ounce. Isn't that lovely? And hence, perhaps, it was originally in Roman a very small flintish stone. And hence, perhaps, the expression a scrupulous person, somebody who weighed his decisions very finely. So, anyway, it's your first go there, Madeline. You're behind at the moment.
Yes, I know I am. I've disgraced myself.
Be scrupulous.
Well, I think again I'll plump for my £500.
£500 I'm bid by Madeline, who has a fixation at the moment on it.
Yes.
What about you, Jack?
I think it's worth, how can you put a worth on a thing? I would say about 80.
Golly, he's incredible, this fellow. He's bang on. So I have to give him 10. He leads by 15-0, and it'll take a lot of pulling back by Madeline. But meanwhile, we pause for the moment as Arthur comes to tell us about this piece of furniture, as he brings along every week a lovely piece. Here's another.
Well, here's a Pembroke table. That's not very exciting news, but it's not a bad one. In satin wood. The usual features down there: square taper leg, little square block toes, a shallow drawer, invariably that's there. Nice when the drawer carries the shape of the top. You see, it's a bow-fronted drawer. But invariably on a good table, the cabinet maker, as it were, went to town on the top. Now, if I just show you this top, you'll see what I mean. Because now there you can see what he's done. There's the big oval of satin wood, and a lovely oval this way on of fiddleback mahogany, beautiful quality, cross-grained with tulip wood there and there. But you see the serpentine shape going all the way around, a butterfly top we call this. See what he's done in these corners. Lovely panels of amboina, that close knitted wood like that, so pretty. And you see, when you get a table that a man has really gone to town on with the top, instead of saying, well, a table like this must be worth £150, one has to say, because of that top, this table must be worth 500 at least.
So what a difference little detail or two like that make. Thank you very much indeed, Arthur. So with Madeline sadly behind 15-0, let's see if she can catch up on the next one.
An Italian silver and silver gilt chalice. It has the Rome hallmark and the maker's mark of Giovanni Felice Sannini, who was made a master of the Rome Company of Goldsmiths in 1747, mid-18th century.
Jack, your first go at this.
Fascinating thing. I would imagine it's a... Is it a chalice from a church, maybe? It's not a thing that I like very much, actually.
Why?
Well, to me, I don't like... who am I to say? I don't like the... It's so ornate. But however, I don't think it's English. I think it comes from an Armenian church.
At what date?
So wrong. I would say it's quite old. I would say it's... May I look? Let's have a look.
I think you'll find marks very difficult, actually, if
Yes.
you're looking for them.
Yes, I think it's old. I would say it's 70s, say 1650.
1650 Armenian. Madeline.
Well, he's right. That much I know. It does come from a church. It's got INRI on it. With my Catholic upbringing, I can remember that's the blood of Christ. More I can't say. It's not quite my taste either. It's a little bit too over the top, is the word. I don't actually know if that's real silver. That's an awful thing to say, but I'm not sure. And I also don't think it's very old.
Well, on that note, I think we'll find out from the expert.
Yes.
Is it real silver? And is it Armenian, 1650, or not very old? Richard?
Thanks. Well, I know exactly, when you say it's over-elaborate, I do agree with you, it is very elaborate, but it's a good example of Rococo work of the mid-18th century, I would say. More likely to be 1750 than 1650. It is, in fact, an Italian piece. It's Rome, there's a mark on the base.
And also on the foot next to the base there, next to the mark.
Is there?
No, next to the mark on the base on the foot. That, yes, if you now look round the corner.
Sorry.
Inside.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Sorry, sometimes they're in the chasing, very difficult to see.
Yes.
But it's somewhere round about 1750, 1760, a Rome-made piece. The bowl probably unscrews, does it? Yes. The bowl unscrews, and the plain calyx of the bowl comes out for cleaning, which is fairly practical. So it's a combination of an extremely simple bowl and a very elaborate calyx, stem and base, and of its kind, although I think this over-elaborate silver actually is an acquired taste, but a wonderful example of silversmith's work.
And ecclesiastical, as they said?
Oh, definitely, there's no question about it. I think Arthur will probably comment about some of the ecclesiastical emblems, but there's presumably a representation of St. Veronica's handkerchief on one side, Christ, head of Christ, crown of thorns, and the lettering which Madeline's pointed out already, and the symbols of the evangelists around the base. So it's a very fine chalice of its kind, even if it's perhaps something of an acquired taste.
Arthur.
Well, there's not much I should be able to say, of course. I must say, I thought INRI was the abbreviations for Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews.
Quite right, sir.
Whether that means the blood of Christ, I don't know, but that's what I thought it was. But I must say, I'm along with almost everyone here. I don't like this work. It's much too fussy. When you just think back a minute to that beer jug, there's the plain severity of it, that one could almost imagine this as being a plain chalice, being done up and embossed and spoilt in Victorian times. There seems so little difference between an over-ornate 18th century thing and a Victorian 19th century thing. Apart from, yes, I know the style and the sea scrolls and everything, but it's far too lively for me.
Right, well, can we have it? It's, incidentally, do you know Giovanni Felice Sannini by any chance? You got the Rome mark at once.
I'm afraid I
It's by him. And the Rome mark, for those of you who couldn't see it clearly perhaps, is a bishop's mitre with a cross keys underneath, which Richard got so quickly, and he was bang right with the date because he was entered as a master in 1747, and this is probably 1749 or thereabouts. Mid-18th century. Expensive piece, even if it's not very much liked by you all. Jack?
Well, I wouldn't give this for it, but I would say about £850.
850 I'm bid there by Jack Watling, who I remind you leads by 15-0. Now, come on.
I expect he'll still be leading when I've finished.
Well, you've always gone under him, haven't you? So why not stick to what you did?
Yes, well, I wouldn't actually give it as much as that.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, may I say the reason I didn't think it was real? It's so light. It's quite extraordinarily light.
It is. So what are you going to put on it?
And I'm going to put on it about 250.
250, and it's 450, so 5 points garnered back there by Madeline. And if she's bang on with the next one, she'll creep up. So let's see what does happen with, at the moment, Jack leading 15-5.
An early 19th century English pottery jug, decorated with silver resist lustre and panels of birds and thistles in coloured enamels. The decoration includes the name of the man for whom it was made and the date, 1812.
I heard you say gorgeous as you caught sight of it, Madeline. It's your first go.
It is. It's absolutely gorgeous. I only know one thing about it, and that's that it's lustreware. Even I can recognise that. And it's made in 1812, it says so. Edward Dickin, I assume he made it. Edward Dickin Linnell. And, if I've got to fix a day, I suppose it's 1700.
1700, we suppose?
I mean, what am I talking about? It says 1812.
Well,
I think I'd better shut up and hand over to Jack.
Well, unless it's a commemoration of something that happened earlier.
Yes.
Edwin Dickin Linnell. Now, that is presumably that isn't the man who made it, is it? Presumably it was made for Mr. Dickin. I don't know. I know very little about this at all.
well,
What was it used for? Is it a... I suppose it's for pouring a drink of some sort.
At what date?
Well, it has to be around there, doesn't it?
Around 1812.
Is
that what it says?
No, it does say 1812, but no, it
Looks
doesn't.
earlier.
But I think it's later than that. I don't know why. I'm going to say 1840.
Right. Let's have it then. 1840, despite the 1812 on it. What does Arthur say? Incidentally, Nanelle, a colleague of Richard's of that name.
Right.
Yes, well, this is fine. This is what we call a silver resist lustre jug. And I don't suppose there's time for me to elaborate on what that means. But it is an oxide of a metal lustered onto it. The point about it is this silver resist does rub so. And invariably on a silver resist jug, most of the patterns, look at the patterns there, you see they are as new. And that makes this jug rather nice. The date would be round about this time, probably made in 1805 or 10, but certainly made for this man and given to him in 1812.
And where, do you think, Arthur?
Made in Staffordshire.
Staffordshire, fine.
I'd say no.
Absolutely right. And I don't think Richard will want to comment on that. It speaks for itself. A resist jug. Very much collected these days. And so, what do you think now? It's your first go, Madeline.
I'd say about £100.
£100 I'm bid there by Madeline. Jack?
I don't think it's quite worth 100. I would say 75.
75?
Yes.
Well, Jack, you're going off slightly because it's 220. So she creeps up again. He leads by 15 to 10 as we go to our very last object. Let's see if she can catch up.
This mustard pot, in the form of a monkey, is made of silver which is partly gilded. It weighs 3½ ounces and was made by Edward Charles Brown in London in 1867.
Yours again. First, Jack. Nothing personal about this.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I like that very much. It's a mustard pot of a monkey smoking a pipe. His eyes are rather fascinating. I think he's rather beautiful, actually. And is that a gold spoon? I would say it's not English. I would say it's... somewhere Middle Eastern.
Somewhere Middle Eastern, made when?
Made when? Mid-18th century, 1750, something like that.
Right. Madeline.
The
do
spoon,
that?
From a
Madeline.
distance, it looked as
Sorry.
though he had sunglasses on.
Yes.
It's rather cute. In fact, he has got glasses on, and his little eyes are, inlaid somehow. I think he's Chinese. And I suppose he's about 1800, and I think he's a mustard pot too.
Right. Chinese, Middle Eastern, 18th century or 1800. Monkey, anyway. He does look a bit Chinese with that hat, doesn't he? Richard?
No, I should be very surprised if it's not one of these little Victorian pieces, and it is, in fact. It's 1867 by, if I can make him out,
ECB.
it's probably one of the Barnards in that case, is it?
No, it's a bloke called Edward Charles Brown.
I'm sorry, but a colleague of mine has done so much research on Victorian marks that I'm well and truly out of date now. But it is, the Victorians were very keen on these little monkey condiments and owl peppers, monkey mustard pots and so on. This is a very typical and a very good example, beautifully modelled, partly gilt, parcel gilt, and the spoon is also silver gilt, I take it. Madeline's pointed out that he's got spectacles on and he's got glass eyes and a very enchanting little figure of its kind.
Arthur?
Well, why don't we show it to you, just for a change? There it is, look. Monkey smoking a pipe and with his oriental hat on. There's nothing else to say, Richard.
There's one
Is there?
slightly interesting thing in that he bears a mark that...
Oh, yes, he's
A
got
registered
this.
mark, yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, yes.
And that, of course, may not. It bears a tablet mark, what we call a tablet mark on the base, which often appears on pottery as well, and is in fact one needs a key to be able to say what this means. But Richard dated this as 1867, and maybe that mark would, when interpreted, would say the 4th of April, 1860. And the difference is simply that in 1860 was the date when that pattern was registered, not necessarily when it was made.
Arthur, you're absolutely bang right, except, in fact, in this case, they were a bit lazy and there weren't perhaps people pirating them, and they did it the year after.
Oh,
and it's the 26th of February, 68.
That's extraordinary.
Which is
Well,
the first year of that second pattern of registrations.
Yes.
But of course, the date letter is for 67, 68.
Ah.
Went on till
changes.
May 68, so
Well, that may be the
would
case.
tally.
Yeah.
So there we are, and it's 3.5 ounces. Rather a nice little thing. The influence of the Chinese going on rather late there, I think, with that hat. Still, it's your first go, Jack, leading by 15 to 10.
Fairly rare, I suppose, fairly rare. I think about £180.
About £180. Now, you're 5 behind, Madeline.
Well, as usual, I come down a bit. I would say about 50.
You shouldn't always follow the nose. It's actually up 500. I declare Jack the winner by 20 to 10. And Jack, I have a prize which I hope you will like. This silver-plated and shell dish,
Oh, how very
Victorian.
kind, lovely.
which I hope you'll enjoy something off at some time.
How absolutely beautiful that is, isn't it?
So,
It's a beautiful dish.
with Jack with the prize which he richly deserved, it's time for us now to have Arthur's competition. But first, let's hear the result of last week's.
Arthur Negus valued the Meerschaum standing pipe at £250.
Well, this week, to test your knowledge, a carriage clock. And everyone will know what a carriage clock is. It looks exactly like this one, with a handle surmount at the top. This one has the maker's name engraved on the back plate there. There you can see William Johnson, Threadneedle Street, London. But it is the case here which is so absolutely superb. Look first of all at this side panel. Now just look at the engraving on that, and the engraving of those two figures by the side of a pond within that shaped reserve. And look at it also around this side. These couples dancing. And believe me, up close as I am, it really looks so fine that it might well be painted. Fancy a man sort of painting in brass. No wonder he was proud enough to put his name underneath, for share. So we have an English movement, an 8-day English movement by Johnson in a French brass engraved case. Shall I leave you looking at the back? Because there you can see, just while you look, a lovely bouquet of flowers also in that shape reserve, beautifully engraved. So that's the question, how much in auction?
Thank you, Arthur. Well, why don't you have a go? It's a lovely clock, isn't it? He does bring along some lovely things for this competition. You might win that prize. Send in your thoughts of what it would fetch. Goodbye now. Good hunting.
Spellbinding performances of classical music and so much more. There's something for everyone at the BBC Proms. Listen and enjoy on BBC Sounds.